Welcome to Short Order. I'm Aparna. Today I'm going to show you how to make dinner for one in 3 minutes or less.
Me so hungry!
If you so hungry, miso tuna is what we're making today. We have the flavors of tuna and miso, a fermented soybean paste, as well as some seaweed and sesame and green asparagus. So let's get started. It's a really easy recipe and really tasty. The first thing I'm going to do is turn the stove onto high and start the pan heating. I'm going to then, the key here is to sear the tuna once on each side. And they're not going to cook for very long. We don't want to cook the tuna all the way through. We have really good tuna here. But I do want to get a little bit of that cooked flavor sealed in. So I put that on there. I let that cook for about 20 seconds on each side. I now have, in this pot, I'm going to add about 1.5 cups of water and about 1 tablespoon or so of miso paste, which, like I said, is the fermented soybean paste. I'm going to whisk it around, break it up here in the water, making almost like a miso soup. It's a little bit of a miso broth. I'm going to then put it on the heat as well, and on like medium, so that those flavors can marinate together and the miso can break up a little bit in the water. I'm going to cover it too, help it cook more quickly. I'm going to take a look at the tuna and turn it over so that the next side will start to sear. Looks beautiful. Back here, I'm going to take the asparagus and just cut the end off. You can tell some of the ends aren't prime, but we want to take the greenest part and put it back in the miso broth. While this is steeping, I'll just give it a quick whisk. Put that in there. And this is just going to blanch the asparagus a little. Not really cook it, but just let it absorb some of the miso flavor. This tuna looks great, and I'm going to turn it over so we get the third side cooking. Now, tuna and miso are two flavors that go really well together. You have them in Japanese restaurants in tuna rolls and in other dishes that have like sort of the salty miso sauce on the tuna. And that's kind of why we wanted to try something different here and combine those two flavors in a way that's really easy to do at home. We didn't want to make it complicated, and it's really not. The last edge just has to cook. You can tell this tuna's starting to cook. The outside of it's turning opaque while the inside is still quite pink. And as that finishes, I'm going to check on our asparagus miso broth, which looks pretty good. And you just want it to heat. You're not actually trying to boil the soup. I'll bring it back here and add the broth. It's just a little bit of broth. It looks really beautiful at the bottom. And I'm going to grab the tuna, which is done by now, bring it over here, turn it off. This is a beautiful tuna steak. I'm going to cut this into 4 pieces. And you can see the inside is so beautiful and pink. I'm going to place this like this, and then like this. Grab the asparagus across here. Oops. And a little bit of sesame nori. There you have it. Miso tuna.